There you go, like that. Me and Keaton began to build an extension on the back of the corn house, and as you can now see, it's no longer there. Hello everyone, welcome back to Alfie's Agriculture. I believe this is week 8. I think last week was 7. Last week we built this wonderful contraption that doesn't look wonderful. I'll be honest, it doesn't look great at all. But I've just done some upgrades off camera over the week. One of being the little boards that I've added on here. Basically, instead of a few small staples that could rip, it's got 3 screws in it. But then it's not just the 3 screws that are point of contact, it's the whole board because it's all pressing against it, like holding it in place. So it's one massive point of contact, greatly reducing the risk of tearing the material. I've also done some on the inside as well, holding it towards the potting shed, which I can just show you as well. I'll just open it up. There you go, like that. And then inside you can probably already see some of them, those wooden boards, which are holding it towards the potting shed. So if I give you a further back view, you can see it's pretty open in there now. And I've also brought my 2 trees from home, which we planted in pots last year. One of them is a lemon tree, one of them is an orange tree. They're still nice and small, but I thought, since they're going to be braving the cold all winter, might as well put them in here so they're just a little bit warmer and less likely to die out from the cold. But they seem to be absolutely trooping through so far. They're doing really well. They're actually still growing new leaves despite it being the winter, which is surprising. And yeah, they're doing good. Hopefully they will come to fruition, but it'll probably be years before that because they're quite small, but we'll see. So yeah, I left them in there. And I've also, let me do a temperature check before the cold air comes in. 6 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure out here it's like 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, so it's definitely warmer in there. I'm actually going to close it back up to keep it warm in there as well. There you go, that's all shut. And now I'm just going to show you some other things that I've done off camera as well. Basically, we're just doing some upkeep, getting things ready, making sure it's all secure, and also clearing away some stuff we don't need, basically. So let me show you another big change we've made. So as many of you will remember, last season me and Keaton began to build an extension on the back of the corn house, and as you can now see, it's no longer there. Sorry about the wonky camera, but yeah, I took it all down and I've taken out the posts and the big side frames because, well, I don't need it anymore, really, do I? Because we've got the polygon, which is what this was going to be anyway. Since I've got it now, I don't need this. So yeah, I've taken it down, and the frames that were here with the wire on it, I've given to Keaton because I asked him and he said he would like them. So I've taken those down and put them over on his plot for him, and now we've got all that extra space. So yeah, now we've got all that extra space that we can use to build a new bed or just have open space with, really. Not sure, put pots there. We'll see. I haven't really decided, to be honest. We've still got all of our large mega beds, as we call them, but there's, despite our best efforts of covering them all, there's still like weeds and nettles growing through them all. And also, the level of the soil has sunk dramatically, which is surprising how much it's sunk. These things were basically full, and now some of them are less than half. It's concerning, actually. So what I'm actually thinking of doing, alongside filling these up with manure or compost or whatever, is also clearing all the wood chip from between them, because that's also been an absolute nightmare in terms of grass and weeds growing through with them. So I need to get rid of all of that and just basically just go back to the ground sheet. Another reason for that is not only because it's not very nice to look at, but also it's basically like a home for the bugs, and Ellie is terrified of the bugs. So if I want Ellie to come back at any point, it will need to be a bug-free path for her to walk along. So yeah, it'll just be clearing all of the wood chip, and I'm gonna just put it all into the compost bin, because it's quite well broken down already. And just for the last bit, we can put it into the compost bin, and it'll break down into some nice, lovely compost for us to use on the beds. Probably not this year because it doesn't look greatly ready, the stuff in there. I've had a look, I've turned it over, and it seems like it's getting there, but it's not ready. I think one more year and then it'll be good to go. I think my plan for topping them up will be probably like horse manure. I think horse manure is really good. If you guys are aware if horse manure is good or not to top up soil, give me a comment in the description or in the comments, because I'm not sure. I've never used it really. My mother put some on my beds before. I'm not sure if it had actually any positive effect or not. I'm hoping it does. Here we've got the first 2 of the 3 compost bins at the end of my plot, and I've tipped out all the top stuff from this one, put it in the middle one so it can start breaking down, because that's all fresh stuff that's not broken down at all. And then this is starting to look, as you can see, a lot more like soil, but there's definitely a lot of large pieces in there that have not broken down yet. And I have been trying to pick them out, the large bits, because they're going to take ages, and just put them in the middle piece. But there's still quite a lot, so I'm just going to give it another year before I use any of it. But it's definitely promising, you know. It's just, it does take a long time for compost to break down. If you're only looking at doing gardening on a short term, I wouldn't even bother with a compost bin. If you are looking to do it over multiple years, definitely give it a go, because it will save you money in the long term. But it just is a very long-term investment for when you put stuff in there. It takes a long time to break down. But other than that, not much else to say on the compost side of things. But yeah, that is basically it for today's video. It's just an update on what I've been doing over the last week and what I'm going to be continuing to do over the next coming week as well. It's just completely maintenance basically. I'm going to be shoveling all that wood chip and ripping out all the grass from the ground sheet just until it's nice and clear basically. It's not going to be entertaining to watch, so I'm not going to film it. I just thought I'd give you an update on what is going on. I haven't skipped a week. I'm down here multiple days a week. Whenever I've got free time, I'll just pop down here and get an hour or 2 of graft in, and it's not been fun shoveling it all, you know, especially because I'm the one who caused all that work for myself. But it's a learning experience, isn't it? Wood chip's good, but it's also bad. You know, everything's got its pros and cons. People have also recommended that I use like slate stones or pebbles, but the thing is with pebbles and slate stones is they're more expensive, so it's you got to weigh the pros and cons of whether it's worth it. I think I'm just going to stick with just the plain black ground sheet, because it worked obviously before I got my plot, because when I got my plot there was no weeds on the ground sheet at all, which proves that it just doesn't grow any weeds on top of it anyway. So that's what I'm going to go for, and hopefully I'll have it looking good. And then in not too long at all, we're getting through January quite quick. Not too long we'll be planting seeds to put into the polygon to start sprouting before we put them into the ground in a month or so. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. But until then, if you want to support the channel, you can always head to the Amazon wishlist in the description, where you can get some goodies for the allotment. Alternatively, you can always just subscribe, like and comment, and any advice you have for me would be greatly appreciated. But as always, I will see you next week. Adios and deuces.